Well, that was not a waste of my time. Stupid fucking bridge. Alright, so I don't even know what I was talking. Oh yeah, well, I was trying to get on the topic of storyline here, of the scenarios. So apparently we're gonna have 3 different scenarios, and Leon's supposed to be horror elemented. Leon's supposed to be the horror aspect. Chris is supposed to be the third-person shooter aspect, and John Schaefer, Wesker's son, whatever the fuck his name is supposed to be a blend of both, I believe, which doesn't work at all. Fucking shark. Chuck that control room key. And that's kind of that's a bit of a fucking, I don't know. Since there's 3 stories, I'm kind of hoping, and considering how variant different locations and areas we've seen, I'm kind of hoping that they're probably not going to be all the same, and they're going to intertwine. But what I'm more concerned about is length, because we all know Capcom has some instances has a way to half-ass certain aspects. Let's just say that. So, like RE4, for example. Well, I don't know. Let's take Azura's Wrath, for example. That game is fun, epic, good-looking, which appeals to pretty much everybody nowadays. Not to me personally. I could give a shit how a game looks, as long as it's fun to play and enjoyable to just control, basically. And that being said, that game has all those following features. But the game itself is a $60 is an 8-hour game at most that costs $60, which kind of makes me question what the fuck, because and that's the problem. They have a problem with length. Now, Resident Evil 5 wasn't that short of a game, to be fair. Resident Evil 4 wasn't that short of a game. All the games in the series, except for the first 2, well, actually, Resident Evil 2 has a good length, because you have to play through both stories. But Resident Evil 1 doesn't have that good of a length. I mean, this game you could beat in under... I mean, but then again, they're designed to be able to be beaten slow, or beaten fast, so you can get all sorts of shit. So you can get ranks and shit for your performance, or up specials, or stuff like that. So, I mean, the games aren't supposed to be like 20 hours long, over 20 hours long, like a freaking JRPG. I mean, that's just said without being said. But that being said, Code Veronica, Resident Evil 4, and Resident Evil 5 were all pretty decently length games, I would say. They would easily take you about 10-something hours. Well, Code Veronica is a little bit odd in that sense. I don't know how you would define Code Veronica in hours. I would say Code Veronica takes maybe 8 hours if you don't know what you're doing. 4 hours if you do, maybe 2 hours. No, I would say 4 hours if you don't know what you're doing. 2 hours if you do. Either way, you really don't want to play that game in one sitting for your own sake. Resident Evil 4 could take up to 10, 20 hours, depending on how fun you have with the game. And from there, I'm not really sure, because my mindset is kind of odd right now. Sorry, I'm distracted by the wheat thins. I mean, and then that comes to mind, and it's like, chuck that shit. But I'm kind of hoping that since the main story is going to be divided into 3 separate scenarios, that they're all going to be decently length and paced. I mean, we already seen like footage of intertwining gameplay already, yeah, where Chris points a gun at Ada, and Ada's supposed to be the main villain in this game. How did she step up from flunky to main protagonist? I'm not really sure, but Shit happens, I guess. Yeah, thanks. And apparently, she's using Wesker's. She wants to use the C virus, which I think I forget in the Captivate trailer, but I think it's supposed to be a combination of the G and T virus. So it's kind of like the T-Abyss or T-Abyss virus, but like a lot more dangerous. Because it affects everything, not just seawater. So I suppose that's kind of interesting. But at the same time, I don't think Ada has, unless she's spearheading the agency or that organization that both she and Wesker were kind of working for at the time, until Wesker developed Tricell, and she decided to work for him, I suppose. But what I don't understand too much about it is how she really just became main antagonist. And I mean, if it's gonna be come down to a cockfight between fucking Chris, well, it's not even really a cockfight. It's more like I don't know. It's probably gonna come down to like there's probably gonna be some form of action command shootout. I guarantee it. I mean, and it makes sense in my opinion. I mean, it's kind of interesting that those two characters who have not had a single on-screen interaction all series are finally gonna get one, because it's gonna be interesting to kind of see how that plays out, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to about it, because I thought RE5 kind of closed the book on a lot of things. Like, I kind of thought RE5 closed the book on fucking Wesker. And then fucking Adam Schafer comes along and ruins my hopes that we're going to actually have one Resident Evil game where the Wolverine does not leave the goddamn pact. In some way, shape, or form. But no. I mean, Code Veronica is a good game. 2 is a good game. 3 is a good game. Then you got 4, where technically, I mean, Wesker, I don't know. I have a huge problem with Wesker. And after he died, I was overjoyed. Happy, and just happy, because he is a Neo ripoff. He's a Neo ripoff. He's an uncreative character. Like, you will see in RE5 how I could basically just debate that Wesker is without a doubt literally a stereotypical movie villain. A fucking movie or comic book villain. I could debate that. I could debate that with you. Considering he's a giant fucking Neo ripoff is something else. But like, literally, I can't even talk about it. And then after he dies, I was happy. I was fucking overjoyed that he was gone forever out of this series. And the whole plot line with him and Spencer and the freaking W children makes no sense to me. It literally was just a shoehorn to give him some form of creative character development, which doesn't affect him in any way, because he still does exactly what he was planning on doing in the first place. But whatever. Added on to that fact, you have to think through the fact that somehow in his years that he had the experimental virus that brought him back to life that Birkin gave him, and also the Ouroboros virus, which he had during the Kajuju incident and only in the Kajuju incident, somehow he was able to impregnate somebody and have a son. And the fuck? Like, literally, what the fuck?
No, it's no use. The roots of it are in the basement.
Basement.
You can... Whoa!
Chris!
Take this file with you.
I don't need that because I have an FAQ.
In order to make the potion and kill the root.
Well, no matter how many times I play these games, I forget how to make Vigil every time. But that's only because I play Remake more often than I play this game.
Chris! Don't die!
And in Remake, I never fight Plant 42 because in order to fight Plant 42 in Chris's case, you have to let Richard die. Yeah, all you now have... Yeah, why is it showing me a location in the fucking area? I don't even have the map to the dormitories. But yeah, so now somehow Wesker managed to impregnate somebody, give him his experimental blood that somehow is going to destroy the C virus, apparently, because he was talking about how the key is in my blood. They just have to pay for it. It's some stupid shit, I don't know. It's like some fuck you in the ass, it doesn't matter. It's literally all a bunch of bullshit plotline that's been conveniently pulled out of the producer's ass, who claims that this is going to be the biggest Resident Evil game ever. Which immediately will set you for high expectations, but, you know, as much as I hate Final Fantasy VIII, and I hate Squall, and I hate all the characters in that game, I could agree with Squall in that one scene after, you know, Cypher goes to, what the fuck is it? He gets it. Oh, wait, why did I do that? I didn't mean to get that. I wanted water, and, I wanted water, and... I don't even know what I'm doing, in all honesty. Well, we can make UMD 3 with this. You get NOP 3, whatever it is, and then you can combine that with... No, we do not want UMB. Why is there no music? And then like, I mean, you got... I mean, let's take into consideration, you got red. You got red, and then you got... Then let's take into consideration, this music is unnerving. I can't talk. I can't talk when there's no music. Yeah, I kind of figured that would happen. Oh, I remember. We need green and red. That's what we needed. So that gives us 6 and 3. It's literally just simple math, but at the same time, it's 6 and 3, and then you need 10. Hold up. The formula should be on this wall. Water equals red, yeah. Purple 3, green 4. Something's written on the wall. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 4 equals 7. 2 plus 4 equals 6. 6 plus 7 equals 13. So now we need 7. But in order to get 7, we need 3 plus 4. So we have the 3, now we just need to get 4. And in reality, this is a very simplistic puzzle. It's just kind of bullshit, because it just takes it just takes a little bit to figure out. So now that we have 7, we put that with 6. You get 13. Our goal is to get to 19 to make a Vigil. So what we have to do now is we have to add 13 and 3. So 13 and 3, we get UMD. So in order to make 3, you need UMD 2 and water. UMD 2 and then UMD water. That's not even a UMD. And you get water. And you mix those together and you get your NPO3. You combine those together, you get VJOL. There you go. That's the entire process. It's nothing complex. So back to rambling. So I don't know. In hindsight, I hate the idea of Wesker having a son. It makes no sense. Ada Wong is not a full-on antagonistic capability, which means she's probably going to be an anti-hero like she has been in every single Resident Evil game so far. Chris's gameplay is going to be the worst out of all of them because it's going to involve a cover system and bullshit fucking third-person shooter aspects. The new guy, I have no idea what to make of his, but he's going to have Sherry with him, so it might be a little bit interesting. Leon's is probably the one I'm looking forward to the most, probably because it's supposed to bring back classical RE situations, but considering it has melee moves and dual-wield pistols, I severely doubt that that's going to be the case, which means that, and you know, also I was talking about how the director and the producer, I think it was the director, who said he was going to make it like the best Resident Evil game ever, and you know, as I was saying, the Final Fantasy VIII thing, yeah, in Final Fantasy VIII, I think it's after the Cypher president, I don't know. But as much as I hate that game, as much as I hate every character in that game, and I hate Squall as the protagonist, it's a pretty shitty one. The thing that pisses me off about it is, like, he says there's a line where Squall goes, if you never expect anything, you'll never be disappointed. Which, in some cases, that could be described as just another of his emo giddy lines. But at the same time, that's how I think with every Resident Evil game that ever comes to every Capcom game that gets put up at E3 or some other place. E3 or some other game revealing, because if you don't get your expectations so high, you won't be disappointed that you wasted $60 on something that you thought was going to be the best shit ever and then turned out to suck balls. That being said, we haven't had full-on gameplay trailer yet, so I can't say shit. But when a full-on public demo gets released that does not involve buying an actual game, I will be the first one to say, I will state my full-on opinion of gameplay trailer. But knowing Capcom, they're probably not going to put up a demo